we thank the Lord for your faithful support and pray His bountiful blessings upon you and your family.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio, AFR. A ministry of the American Family Association.
Wonder where those are going.
American Family News on the Hour. I'm Chris Woodward. President Obama is defending his UN ambassador over GOP charges that she was lying about the September terrorist attack in Libya, not to mention the cause.
GOP senators are demanding Watergate-style hearings, asking why UN Ambassador Susan Rice called the Benghazi assault a film protest when it was really a terrorist strike. But the president says this is outrageous.
For them to go after the UN ambassador, who had nothing to do with Benghazi?
He says Rice was just relaying what U.S. intelligence was saying, and if critics don't like that,
They should go after me.
those senators say they don't trust Rice and oppose her becoming Secretary of State. But Obama says she's a tough and skilled envoy, and if he thinks she's the right person, he will nominate her. Mark Smith at the White House.
President
1, 2,
Obama also
3,
says he wants to
4,
begin a
5
national
per car.
conversation on climate change, but
5
he did
Hummers
not
per
outline
car.
specific legislation. One of the more talked about ideas following the election involves a carbon tax, which even some Republican lawmakers and conservative senior fellows favor, while others largely oppose such policy. California has begun auctioning permits for greenhouse gas emissions, launching what is expected to be the world's second largest carbon market. Prices for Wednesday's private online auction will be released later this month. Pro-socialist demonstrations outside the White House last week were not only student-led, but AFN's Bob Kellogg has reaction from one eyewitness who says the students were merely reflecting what they've been learning on campus.
Students from Georgetown, Howard, and George Washington universities gathered around the White House immediately after the president's re-election, chanting Karl Marx and socialism. Timothy Dionysiopoulos of CampusReform.org was there.
They were running in the streets, things of that nature, but I didn't see anyone really acting out in any fashion. But, definitely it was motivated sort of by this desire from the left for social acceptance and to, I think take a knock at, middle America.
He says students were really reflecting what they've been learning on campus.
It's very rare that you would find a conservative professor. It's even rarer that you would find a course on conservatism taught at a college or university in America. Whereas, if you look at course listings, you've got entire departments dedicated to left-wing, points of view and, courses dedicated to Marxism, on an intellectual and philosophical level.
He says high school graduates and their parents should carefully investigate the universities and colleges in which they're thinking of enrolling.
Israel is warning that it may follow up Wednesday's air assault on targets in Gaza with a ground operation. 10 people were killed in the 20 or so airstrikes, including the commander of the Hamas military wing. The airstrikes were in retaliation for renewed rocket fire from Gaza aimed at southern Israel. Also this hour, a 6.1 magnitude quake struck off northern Chile Wednesday, but authorities say no injuries or damage. The quake was mildly felt in the capital Santiago as well as the port of Valparaiso. And Operation Christmas Child, a project of Samaritan's Purse, is under full steam. AFN's Charlie Butts reports millions of shoeboxes have been stuffed with items for Christmas gifts for children in third world countries.
The gifts bless children in those countries, some who have
there's
never
the last
had
of
a
it.
gift before. Operation